We are back with probably one of the most legendary interviews of all time, guys. This is Bill O'Reilly interviewing Michael Moore at the Democratic National Convention in 2004. Now, this is an old video, guys. OG, okay, about 14 years old, 17 years old actually. Super old video. But Bill O'Reilly used to be like this huge internet personality or TV personality for the Fox News, of course, more of a conservative platform. And Michael Moore, for those who don't know, I think Michael Moore is a real actually conspiracy theorist guy. He's more of sort of a liberal guy back in the day. He's a lot more conservative than people think, I think. A lot more liberal than people think, actually. I'm more on Michael Moore's side on this one, of course, guys. He talks about the war in Iraq and stuff. So drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, and let's get it, guys.
Staying with us, I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Personal Story segment. And a few weeks ago, we conducted a poll to see if you wanted Michael Moore on this broadcast, and most of you did. So we vowed to track him down. Moore dodged us, saying he wouldn't appear on The Factor until I saw his entire film. That's fair enough.
That's not really dodging. Bill O'Reilly is being disingenuous already, guys. We're not even a minute in. He's being disingenuous.
The first half of the screening and picked up the second half about a week later. But Moore still didn't come on until yesterday when I cornered him on a Boston street. Moore said he'd do an interview with The Factor if we didn't edit it, and he could ask me some questions. I said, all right. So here is my chat with Michael Moore. We've not edited it other than to go to commercial because we have to. So take a look. All right, here are the rules. Ready? I ask you a question, then you get to ask me one, and then back and forth. You all right with that?
That's fair. We'll just stick to the issues.
The issues.
All right,
okay.
Good.
Now, one of the issues is you, because you've been calling Bush a liar on weapons of mass destruction. The Senate Intelligence Committee, Lord Butler's investigation in Britain, and now the 9/11 Commission have all come out and said there was no lying on the part of President Bush. Plus, Vladimir Putin has said his intelligence told Bush there were weapons of mass destruction. You want to apologize to the president now or later?
He didn't tell the truth. He said there were weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, but he didn't lie. He was misinformed. By all of those investigations come to the same conclusion. That's not a lie.
So in other words, if I told you right now that nothing was going on down here on the stage,
that would be a lie because we could see that wasn't the truth.
I'd have to turn around to see it. And then I would realize, oh, Bill, I just told you something that wasn't true. Actually, it's President Bush that needs to apologize to the nation.
I agree, guys. I agree. That going into Iraq was an absolute disgrace. Everybody knows, even back in the day, guys, it said like 90% of Americans agreed that going to the Middle East is good. It should have never happened. It's a disgrace, guys. You know, because of 9/11, you know, a lot of people now think that it was like a false flag attack type of thing. But let's continue, guys. Michael Moore already roasting Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly's a clown, bro.
For telling an entire country that there were weapons of mass destruction, that they had evidence of this, and that there was some sort of connection between Saddam Hussein and September 11th. And
this is ridiculous, guys. And all these points are amazing. Michael Moore, well ahead of his time for a lot of issues. Obviously now he's a bit of a liberal kind of guy, but I will say this, guys. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Nobody had anything over there, and they lied, man. They wanted to go into Iraq for oil and things like that. So don't believe the hype.
Yeah, he never said that, but back to the thing. If Michael Moore is president,
I thought you said you saw him,
which may happen if Hollywood.
I show all that in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
But that was your question.
This is issues.
That's your question.
You've got 3 separate investigations plus the president of Russia, all saying British intelligence, U.S. intelligence, Russian intelligence told the president there were weapons of mass destruction. You say he lied. It's not a lie if you believe it to be true. Now, he may have made a mistake, which is obvious.
Well, that's almost pathological. I mean, many criminals believe what they say is true.
All right, so now
they could pass a lie detector test.
You're dancing around the question.
No, I'm not. There's no dancing around. He said something that wasn't true.
Based upon bad information given to him by legitimate sources.
Bill,
they're not legitimate sources, guys. This is an absolute hoax, man, to think that. How would they have known that? I mean, it would have been extremely clear cut that they were building weapons of mass destruction. You need insane tools for that, guys, and insane, like, you know, physics tools and all this type of stuff, and millions upon billions upon research for that. It's not true, guys. This never happened. This was complete lies.
That they went to the CIA. Cheney went to the CIA. They wanted that information. They wouldn't listen to anybody.
Did he go to Russian intelligence and Blair's intelligence too?
His own people told him. I mean, he went to Richard Clark the day after September 11th and said, "What do you got on Iraq?" And Richard Clark's going, "Oh, well, this wasn't Iraq that did this, sir. This was Al Qaeda."
Exactly. It wasn't Iraq. It was Al Qaeda and a few fractions of the Middle East. Ridiculous, guys. Never believe. I said it from the beginning. You know, and a lot of people hate Trump, and Trump opposed the war in Iraq. A lot of people want it, so a lot of Democrats want it. You know, Democrats is a party of war, guys.
You're diverting the issue. Did you read Woodward's book?
No, I haven't read his book.
Okay. Woodward's a good reporter, right? He's the Watergate guy. You know who he is, right?
I know who he is.
Okay. He says in his book, George Tenet looked the president in the eye, like I'm looking you in the eye right now, and said, President, weapons of mass destruction is a quote-unquote slam dunk. If you're the president, you ignore all that?
Yeah, I would say the CIA had done a pretty poor job.
I agree. And Tenet was fired.
Yeah, but not before they took us to war based on his intelligence. This is a man who ran the CIA, a CIA that was so poorly organized and run and wouldn't communicate with the FBI before September 11th. And as a result, in part, we didn't have a very good intelligence system set up before September 11th.
Nobody disputes that.
Okay, so he screws up September 11th. Why would you then listen to him when he says this is a slam dunk and you're going to go to war?
You got MI6 and Russian intelligence all saying the same thing. That's why.
Okay, here's my question.
You're not going to apologize.
MI6 and all these guys are not trustworthy people, guys. They're not trustworthy. CIA and all this stuff is not trustworthy.
Bush, you're going to continue to call him a liar.
Oh, he lied to the nation. Bill, I can't think of a worse thing to do for a president, to lie to a country, to take them to war.
Facts.
I mean, I don't know
There
of a
was
worse
no lie.
Facts.
He did not tell the truth. What do you call that?
I call that bad information acting on bad information.
Hey, a seven-year-old can get away with that.
All right, your turn.
Mom, Dad, it was just bad information.
I'm not going to get you to admit it wasn't
Yeah,
a
killing hundreds of innocent people is not thousands, millions upon innocent people is not that.
lie.
It was a lie, and now, which leads to my question to you. Over 900 of our brave soldiers are dead. What do you...
900. I think at the end of the 20-year war, 5,000 American troops died because of the 20-year conflict. This was 2004. Now it's when they pulled out last year in 2023, 2022, whenever that pullout was of Afghanistan, 4,900 American troops passed away, and another 2,000 British troops or something, or worldwide troops from NATO. Absolute disgrace. We should have never went into the Middle East. Disgusting.
You say to their parents?
What do I say to their parents?
Yes.
I say what every patriotic American would say. We're proud of your sons and daughters. They answered the call that their country gave them. We respect them, and we feel terrible that they were killed.
Oh, sure you do. That's bullshit.
But what were they killed for?
They were removing a brutal dictator who himself killed hundreds of thousands of people.
But that is not the reason it was given to them to go to war, to remove a brutal dictator.
Well, we're back to the weapons of mass destruction.
But that was the reason.
The weapons of mass destruction.
That we were told we were under some sort of imminent threat.
That's right.
Yeah, America is never under any imminent threat, guys. America can spot bombs from half the world away. The America is the best military in the entire world. They're not under any danger, guys. Do not fool yourself.
And there was no threat, was there?
It was a mistake.
It was just a mistake. And that's what you tell the parents of a deceased child?
I think that's what those parents believe.
We're sorry, it was a mistake.
Disgusting.
That's what you have to tell them.
Bad intelligence.
Facts.
We're all sorry. I don't think that's good enough.
Well, I don't think it's good enough either for those parents.
So we agree on that.
That is the historical nature of what happened.
Bill, if I made a mistake and I said something and did something as a result of my mistake, but it resulted in the death of your child, how would you feel toward me?
It depends whether the mistake was intentional.
No, not intentional.
Or unintentional.
It was a mistake.
Then if it was an unintentional mistake, I cannot hold you morally responsible for that.
Really, I'm driving down the road and I hit your child, and your child is dead.
If it was unintentional and you weren't impaired or anything like that.
So just that's all it is alcohol. And even though it was a mistake, how would you feel?
Now we're wandering. Now listen.
No, but my point is.
I saw what your point is, and I answered your question.
Michael Moore is roasting him right now.
But why? What did they die for?
They died to remove a brutal dictator who had killed hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
That's what they died for.
That was not the reason they were given.
Their weapons of mass destruction was a mistake.
Well, there's 30 other brutal dictators in this world.
All right, I got another question.
Would you sacrifice, let me just finish on this, would you sacrifice your child to remove one of the other 30 brutal dictators on this planet?
It depends what the circumstances
You
were.
would sacrifice your own child for
I
that?
would sacrifice myself, I'm not talking for any children, to remove the Taliban. Would you? Would you? That's my next question.
No, I would be
Would you sacrifice yourself to remove the Taliban?
I would be willing to sacrifice my life to track down the people that killed 3,000 people on our soil.
Yeah, that was Al-Qaeda who was given
I love that. Jesse Ventura said this as well, guys. Why do we not track the actual people who committed the offenses on 9/11? We don't know who did it. Nobody got indicted. We will never know who did it, guys.
Huge by the Taliban.
Yeah, but we didn't go after them, did we?
We removed the Taliban and killed 3/4 of
That's
the
why the Taliban are still killing our
We don't. The Taliban. We have ISIS now. There's tons of fractions. You know.
soldiers there.
Well, look, Moore, you can't
Isn't
kill
that-
everybody. Come on. You don't, look,
Oh, really?
you wouldn't have even invaded Afghanistan, would you?
No, I would have gone after the man who
How?
killed 3,000 people.
How?
Go to where, as Richard Clark says, our special forces were prohibited for 2 months to go into the area where they believed
Yeah,
Osama
why was that?
Yeah, they were prohibited for 2 months into Tora Bora, guys, and they should have been. A general said that they should have been able to locate. They knew where Osama bin Laden was, and they could have got him easily, and they were rejected it. What does that tell you, guys? They wanted a war in Afghanistan. They didn't want to kill Osama bin Laden.
No, that's my question. to the
Because
Bush
Pakistan
administration.
didn't want its territorial sovereignty
No,
violated.
this was in Afghanistan on the border. Why didn't we even go there?
We were there
Why
in Tora Bora.
He got a 2-month head start.
2 months head start, absolutely roasted. I love Michael Moore for roasting and Bill O'Reilly. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I love you all. Stay free, and I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Peace.